Good morning, good morning, good morning, and praise the Lord. Welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So excited to have this time, this opportunity to come to you on this day and lead you in a very special way in yet another grief devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you express it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm excited to lead you in this grief devotion on today. I know it's Christmas time. It's around this time of the year. It's the day before Christmas Eve, and a lot of people are feeling a lot of things. And so I'm glad to have this opportunity to hopefully help salve some of your suffering, and to be a prescription to some of the problems that you may be feeling. Today's grief quote comes from Agnes M. Pahoro, which says, "What is Christmas? It is tenderness for the past, courage for the present, hope for the future. It is a fervent wish that every cup may overflow with blessing rich and eternal, and that every path may lead to peace." Today is day 357. We're going to talk about that empty chair. We're going to talk about that empty chair. Pastor Duncan, what empty chair are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. As we dare to prepare to enter into this Christmas holiday season, for so many of us, at the table is going to be an empty chair. It is the chair that your spouse occupied. It is the chair that your mother or father occupied. It is the chair that your husband or wife occupied. It is the chair that your son or your daughter occupied. It is the chair that your auntie, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your sister. It is the chair that your grandson, your granddaughter once occupied. And for this year, whether it's the first time, the fifth time, or the 50th time, that chair at the table is going to be empty. What do you do with the empty chair? I remember my very first Christmas without my father, and it was around Christmas time that he died, December 3rd. Excuse me. And so it was just 22 days later, died December 3rd. I think the funeral was December 10th, 7 days later. And so just 15 days after that, I was faced to see for the first time that empty chair, right? And I can just remember sitting at the table and things just feeling off and awkward, and even tears coming out of our eyes, and going to the bathroom trying to hide it from everybody, y'all, because we had to deal with, for the very first time, that empty chair at the table. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we're going to deal with. That's what we're going to dive into on today. Understand that we are tender this Christmas. We are tender this Christmas. We despair at the thought of the now empty chair at our holiday table, whether it is an actual chair or empty space in our hearts, right? For some of us, it is an actual, literal empty chair. For some of us, it's just that empty space that's in our heart that we're faced to deal with on this Christmas season. We despair, right? The empty chair. We despair the empty space. It is too painful a reminder that someone we love is gone forever. When you grieve, you always have these reminders. You always have these moments. You always have these days, these holidays, these instances that bring us back to the remembrance, or that reminds us of the fact that somebody we've loved, we've lost, right? And this is one of those ultimate examples, right? Holidays and birthdays and things of that nature. This is one of those ultimate, and primarily because we have so many years stacked up with memories of this particular loved one. We have so many years. For some of us, we have decades of memories, moments, and minutes stacked up with this loved one. And so, for the very first time in a very long time, right? Everything is altered, everything is changed, everything is different. And so, for a lot of people, this can be too painful of a moment, right? Of a reminder that Someone we love is gone forever. We may decide that leaving the chair empty is the best way to honor our grief this holiday season, right? For some of us, we leave it empty. That's the best way to honor. I remember back in the day growing up in church with if a preacher died or a pastor died, they would drape the chair he sat in, or they would drape a chair in the pulpit with black, in mourning and remembrance of the loved one that has gone. I've seen that. I remember that a few times at the church I grew up with. And for some of us, maybe that's how we want to honor it, right? Maybe we want to honor in that particular way. We want to leave the chair empty, right? We want to leave, whether you drape it or you decorate it or whatever the case may be, you want to leave it empty. I remember when I had my 10-year high school reunion, graduated from Arlington High School. We were the Golden Knights. And I remember when we had our 10-year high school reunion, we had a table, and the table said Fallen Knights. We probably had about, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 classmates that had died and gone on since we had graduated. And so for the reunion, we wanted to remember them. We wanted to remember them in a very special way, and so we had a table. We had a table, and we had chairs, and everybody had. I think we had their name plates, at their table, and it was a way for us to remember those who graduated with us that were no longer with us, right? And so, if you want to leave the chair empty, I mean, that's a great way to honor. That's a great way to remember them, right? If you want to leave a name plate or something at the table. I know for one year we lit a candle for everybody that passed and transitioned. If you wanted to light a candle in their remembrance, that's a great way to honor those who have gone, right? So we may decide that leaving the chair empty is the best way to honor our grief this holiday season, or we may decide to fill our empty chair, right? Maybe we could invite a friend or neighbor to our holiday gathering. Maybe we want to fill the empty chair. Perhaps we could reach out to someone else touched by his death. Together, we could acknowledge the person who is missing while at the same time finding solace in each other's company. Maybe you want to fill the space. Maybe you want to invite over one of their friends, right? One of their friends or one of their loved ones or one of their whatever. Maybe you want to fill the chair, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever you feel, right? It's whatever you feel. It's whatever you feel. However you want to navigate through that. There's so many different ways you can do it. The thing is to acknowledge in some type of way, whether you leave it empty, whether you want to feel it, whatever the case may be. It's an opportunity for, remember, mourning is what you express on the outside, right? So you want to express how you feel, and you want to honor them however you desire to honor them this holiday season. Together, we can acknowledge the person who is missing while at the same time finding solace in each other's company. If we acknowledge, embrace, and express our grief this holiday, we are on the path that leads to peace. Y'all hear that? If we acknowledge, embrace, and express, I love those flow of words. We got to acknowledge, embrace, and express. You acknowledge how you feel, embrace how you feel, right? We don't refuse to face it, we embrace it. We don't ignore it, we explore it. We don't suppress it, but we express it. And when you acknowledge and when you embrace and when you express how you feel, right? That's what leads to peace. That's what leads to healing. That's what's going to help you this holiday season. Acknowledge, embrace, and express. Acknowledge, embrace, and express your grief this holiday. You will be on the path that leads to peace. When you fail to do that, right, everything is tight on the inside. When you find yourself in a place that you don't want to be. So you want to acknowledge, you want to embrace, you want to express. That is going to put you on a path that leads to peace. And those are the things that you want to do. Here's the final thought. Your empty chair grieves me. My Christmas heart is tender. I will remember and mourn you today. Your empty chair grieves me. My Christmas heart is tender. I will remember and mourn you today. I am praying for each and every one of you as you navigate through this holiday season. I know it is the day before Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and after that is Christmas Day. Yo, we have been here 357 days this year, empowering you, strengthening you, and helping you to navigate through your grief journey. And I hope and pray in some very special way that you've been blessed and you've been able. I hope you're able to navigate a little bit better this holiday season because of our connection. I want you to know I love you with the love of the Lord, and I'm rooting for you on today. Today is day 357, y'all. We're talking about the empty chair. Hope you have a sensational Saturday. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time. Let's go.